I never thought my marriage would collapse with a single sentence. And yet, there she was one quiet evening, sipping wine at the kitchen counter, saying it so casually I almost laughed. "I think we should try an open marriage." The words rolled off her tongue like she'd rehearsed them in front of a mirror 100 times. For a second, I waited for the punchline. A grin, some sign that she was joking. But she wasn't. She swirled her wine, raised an eyebrow, and looked at me like a professor educating a child about the modern world. "It's mature," she said.
Mature.
As if disagreeing meant I was unevolved. As if wanting monogamy made me the simple one. I forced a smile, even as my heart pounded and my palms stuck to the table. "If it's what you want," I said calmly, then fine. She smiled, smug, satisfied. Relieved I hadn't exploded. But what she didn't see was the storm already brewing inside me. What she didn't know was that her little idea had opened a door I would never close again. In the days that followed, the signs were everywhere. Her phone, glued to her palm, always face down. Meetings that ran late into the night. Perfume that wasn't hers. Faint marks on her collarbone. Laughter that didn't belong to me. And though my stomach twisted with humiliation, I said nothing. I let her believe I was the obedient husband, too weak to fight back. But I was watching, and I was waiting. At a neighborhood barbecue, I overheard two women whisper behind me. "Can you believe she asked his permission when she already had it lined up? She's cruel. He has no idea." And in that moment, the truth hit me harder than any slap. She hadn't been asking for permission. She had already chosen someone else. She just wanted validation, wanted to clear her conscience. My chest went cold, but my face stayed neutral. I raised my beer, smiled at the guys around me, and silently made a vow. I would not be her victim. She thought she could reduce me to a shell, silent, invisible, irrelevant. But she underestimated me. The first crack in her plan came from her best friend. It started with a late-night text. "I don't agree with what she's doing to you. You don't deserve this." I stared at the screen, my wife asleep beside me, smelling of a man who wasn't me. My thumb hovered. Then I typed, "Thank you." Her reply came instantly. "You're not crazy. She's selfish. I see it." Those words wrapped around me like a lifeline. Night after night, the messages got longer. She listened. She reminded me I wasn't nothing. And then one evening, her voice came through the phone, soft and steady. "I care about you." I felt alive, for the first time in months. I told myself it was just comfort, just words. But at a family dinner, the way her eyes lingered told me it was something more. Later that week, she invited me over under the pretense of company. We sat on her porch beneath warm golden lights, wine between us. When our hands brushed, neither of us pulled away. The kiss was soft at first, hesitant, then desperate.
Hungry.
Guilt stabbed at me, but I didn't stop. Because in her arms, I wasn't invisible. I was wanted. But that wasn't the end. The real danger came from somewhere closer. Her sister. Younger. Sharper. Bold. One afternoon, after a family lunch, she cornered me. "I've been hearing things about you and her best friend. Is it true?" I deflected. She pushed. "Don't make yourself her equal. You deserve better." And the way she said better, the look in her eyes, told me everything. A week later, during a quiet moment, we were standing too close. The air between us charged. Our lips collided, fierce, reckless. A kiss that tasted like fury and longing and everything forbidden. Her hands gripped my shirt. My fingers dug into her waist. And I knew then, I had stepped fully into her game. But I was no longer a pawn. I was the counterplayer. Fate, of course, has cruel timing. One evening, just inches from her sister's lips again, my wife walked in. Her face twisted in horror and rage. Her scream tore the room in half. "Not just him, but you? My own sister?" She trembled with fury, tears flashing in her eyes, then stormed out, leaving us in the wreckage. The fallout was brutal. Friends whispered. Family judged. Her lover vanished. Her confidence cracked. And suddenly, she was alone, while I, her broken little husband, stood with not one, but two of the people she thought she controlled. Her best friend didn't abandon me. She looked her in the eye and said, "You don't deserve him." Her sister, guilty, yes, but unwilling to deny what we had. My wife had opened the marriage to crown herself queen, but instead, she found herself dethroned, betrayed by her own circle. One night, she came home, demanding answers. "Why don't you get jealous anymore? Why don't you care where I go?" I smiled. "Isn't this the freedom you wanted?" And for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. She had lost control. She wasn't the puppet master anymore. She was the one unraveling. And I, once her pawn, had become the mirror reflecting her arrogance back at her. The nights that once belonged to her lover were now filled with whispered calls from her best friend. Afternoons burned with the forbidden fire of her sister's touch. And in that tangled mess, I found clarity. She thought she'd humiliate me, thought she'd break me. But instead, she had driven me straight into the arms of those who should have been loyal to her. She built her own downfall. And I walked away, not broken, but awake. Not the victim, the victor. She wanted an open marriage. So I gave her one. Just not the way she imagined. Because while she lost everything,